Hello, everybody. I'd like to introduce you to Tim from Blue Star.
Hi, it's Tim Flanagan. I'm a Honeywell BDM at Blue Star, and I wanted to thank you for joining the DMS Tech webinar today, Making Sense of Unified Communications. So today we're going to focus on Honeywell's Smart Talk application. It's powered through Counterpath, which is a VoIP application, and allows your mobile computer tablet, desktop to have voice connectivity. I'm going to do some introductions right now, and then sales next. Kent will be presenting. Chris Dollinger is a regional sales manager for Western Canada, and Chris will actually co-present as well. Our favorite go-to is Hector Medina, who's an SE Productivity Solutions with Honeywell. I'm not sure if Emily introduced herself, but Emily McKay is a director or marketing manager at DMS Tech. And I'm not sure if Brian Neufeld's on the call or not. If so, he's the director of marketing with DMS Tech. So again, thank you everybody for joining. As far as questions, please don't hesitate to ask during the presentation. Would be very happy to have to make this as interactive as possible. So Kent, I'd ask that you kick this off now and go from here.
Sounds good. Thank you very much for the introduction, Tim. So, hello everyone. So as Tim mentioned, my name is Kenton. I am a sales engineer, solution architect for Blue Star Canada. And my responsibility is fairly wide on the product side of things. I deal with anything that is networking, or the way I like to say it, anything that's IP based. So I deal with networking, Wi-Fi, cellular, but I also have a background in voice. And that's why I was quite excited when I heard about the Honeywell Smart Talk voice application, because that kind of goes back to my roots when I was in the telecom days, when voice communications were transitioning from digital communications over to SIP. So without further ado, I want to show what Honeywell Smart Talk is all about. And then I've got a few devices here that I can show a live demo as to how it operates. And then we can finish off with some licensing questions and the economic aspects of the solution for your customers. So with that, let me see if I can show my screen and run the presentation. Let's hit the button. Are people able to see my screen, Tim? Can you verify you can see my screen right now?
I can. Looks good. Thank you.
Perfect. All right. So this is a slide deck from Honeywell with their Smart Talk solution. So I'm not going to spend very much time on the slides because the live demos are always more interesting anyways, but this will give a little bit of the background as to what the solution looks like. So first of all, the Honeywell Smart Talk, it provides this smart, constant, instant communications for mobile equipped workers. Now, the word mobile is interesting here because it can be either mobile workers within your premise or mobile workers out on the road, your courier drivers and the like. So it's very important to know that the Smart Talk application works over any IP network, either a Wi-Fi network or a cellular network, or even a regular wired network into the office. So it gives a lot of flexibility on the type of network and the type of device that it uses. And that then gives you the ability to instantly connect teams so that they can focus on delivering the better customer experiences. Now, at the very heart of it, secure unified communications, it's that feature-rich VoIP for the voice, the secure messaging, and it also gives the user presence, so that way you can know the status of your workforce. Now, the other nice thing about the Honeywell application is that it resides separate from any other applications on your device. So as I'll be showing you later on, you can have this installed on, for instance, an iPhone, and it's operating separately from your Apple Messenger. So then your business communications are being done through the Honeywell Smart Talk app. So why the Honeywell Smart Talk app? First of all, the quality. The solution was created by Counterpath, which is a company that's been doing VoIP for over 15 years. So Honeywell recognized that to develop the application properly, they needed a partner with experience in the development of VoIP applications. And as I mentioned, it works on Wi-Fi or cellular and has a multiple audio and media codecs. If you're familiar with H711, H729, 722, it supports all of that as well as multiple security standards. So it handles the mobile TLS environments and has all the required encryption standards as part of the product. Also, it handles MDM, or mobile device management, and EMM, enterprise mobility management applications. So that way the administrators can keep track of where all the devices within your organization. And the simplicity, the onboarding, it is extremely simple. So literally, the end user can download the app from the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. They install it themselves. The administrator sends them the username and password, and you're up and running. The tech admin does not have to actually touch the device to provision. I used to be an administrator back in the day, and it makes your life a whole lot simpler. And then finally, on the flexibility, as I mentioned, it works on Apple iOS, it works on Android, and it works on Windows desktops, which is very powerful when you can use your desktop. So for instance, a manager could have the application running on the desktop as well as on their personal phone. And Counterpath has this working with multiple PBX providers. Basically, you just have to have a SIP-enabled PBX in order for this application to work. But that being said, Honeywell also does offer a hosted PBX environment to make things even simpler. So very quickly, here's a marketing slide around the benefits. It improves response times, gets better customer service quality. It protects your company information. And as I mentioned, it separates your enterprise communications separate from your personal communications that you might be doing on the device. And it's a single device, so you don't have to carry your work phone and your personal phone. It's all on the same device, and it makes for a better ROI. And as I said, one device, and it reduces the infrastructure requirements and gets a better return on the investment. And it eliminates the need for a hard phone on the desk because a person's laptop on the desk becomes the phone. So on the screen here, you can see a CT40, and very quickly, a lot of the application features are integrated to the buttons on the phone. So not only do you have the virtual on-screen keyboard, some of the capabilities can be associated with the external buttons on the phone for doing things like the push-to-talk, secure calling, doing secure messaging, video calling, and as mentioned, has multiple types of PBX support. And then you can also show the user presence. The user provisioning, as I mentioned, is very simple. The user experience, it does have metrics and a report aspect to see what is happening with the usage within the environment, and the remote desktop support. So Smart Talk comes in two versions. It has professional, which is a bit more of what most of the warehouse workers and courier drivers would probably be using. It gives you the ability to push to talk. So for people who aren't familiar with what push to talk is, it's basically a PA system, or if you want to call it a CB radio system, where when one person pushes the button, and in this case, it's a virtual button on screen, everybody who's part of that calling group will automatically have their device activate, and then you can hear the message. So if you've got 10 people in a group, one person presses the button, all 9 other devices will activate and you can hear the message. So for instance, you see there the warehouse side of things. So maybe there's an emergency in the warehouse and they need everyone to get out quickly. You hit the warehouse button, everybody in the warehouse group, their phone's audio will activate and they will hear the message. So in some ways, if there is no speaker system, like an actual overhead speaker PA system in the warehouse, this solution can provide that by using each person's device as the audio device. Oh, sorry, and I just had a couple of highlights here. So, and as mentioned, it's manufacturer and operating system agnostic, so it works on Android, iOS, iPhone, and you can do some customized channelization. So as you can see, there's multiple different groups that you can have people associated to target the appropriate calling. Here's a quick rundown of the differences between the two licenses. The professional has the push-to-talk, the enterprise messaging. The enterprise version, this is where the real power comes in, where you have the voice mail, the voice recording, but also the video call, as well as the user presence. In other words, to see who is actively online at the time. And if more details are required in the future, we can send you some information on what the differences are on that side of things. Then on the next slide kind of runs down what the enterprise looks like. So once again, it can also do the push to talk, but instead of just having one person push it and it goes to the entire group, you can also do one-to-one messaging. So that way you can have an individual that will have the phone activate immediately when you hit the push to talk for that person. And you also have, you can see here, the text messaging as well as the phone call side of things. Once again, it's the manufacturer agnostic, and you have the custom configuration, but you can also do some custom branding. And I haven't seen the sample of it yet, but I understand that Honeywell can put your particular company brand as part of it to just kind of highlight what organization you're a part of with that.
Yeah, that's right, Kenton. Perfect.
All right, so to run down the final additional features here, as I mentioned, you can customize your push-to-talk channels. You've got the advanced security and encryption for voice, media, and the provisioning. You can actually incorporate this with wearable hardware via partnerships. So it doesn't have to be just on the Honeywell device. Now, that's the other important thing to know, is that this is not specific for Honeywell products. This works on any type of ruggedized product or regular product that can download the app. That gives a lot of flexibility for how you can deploy the solution with your customers. And it also has the push notification for battery saving. So in other words, there's some intelligence built into the application to optimize the battery to get longer life out of it. As mentioned, the Pbx interoperability, all you need is to have a SIP address to your Pbx and the device will connect and register. And you can have it not only to an internal Pbx, but also any cloud-based Pbx service out there. Honeywell offers it as well, but there's other ones like Ring Central and other hosted VoIP services that will operate with this as well. And the provisioning is real simple, and it supports all of the standard messaging and security protocols, the SIP, the XMPP, UDP, TCP, anything you want to slice and dice, you have the customization capability around that. So that is the real quick run through of the slides. I am going to pause my screen. There we go. So everyone can see me back online? Perfect.
Yep, good.
All right, so I am going to begin with showing the CT60 that I have here. So this is the CT60. I'm trying to hold it so that I don't get screen glare. You can kind of see the main Honeywell screen, and it's got a standard keypad on it. So this device is Wi-Fi only. It is not cellular. So with this application, I am just going to call my personal cell phone, 905.
Kenton, I don't know if everybody else having the same issue, but I can only see the thank you screen.
Oh, is that not? Okay, just hang on. Hang on.
So you're now full screen, Kenton. Now the thank you is up. Now you're.
Am I back?
Yep, correct.
Okay, perfect. All right, so I'm holding up to the camera here the CT60. If you can see the keypad on there. So what I will do is I will do that phone call again. So I'm calling my personal cell phone off of the CT60. I'll hit the dial. So now I'm making a phone call off this Wi-Fi device, and it should show that it's calling over here. So that is making a phone call through Honeywell's hosted cloud platform off of this Wi-Fi only device. So that gives the ability to call any phone number in the rest of the world. So that's the first step. Now I'll cancel out of that. Now you can see this is the push to talk screen. For instance, I also have the Honeywell application. I'm trying to hold it so you can see the screen there. So this is my personal iPhone that I'm using here. I downloaded the app, and let me get over to the right screen on here. Yeah, it's always fun when you're doing live demonstrations. Bear with me for a moment. Come here, come here. Okay, there we go. So now on this phone over here, I'm going to hit this push to talk with my finger here. Come on. Okay, so here's the push to talk screen. I'm going to hit broadcast. So now you can see all these devices are all connecting at the same time. I'll hang that up because I'm getting feedback like crazy because I got 4 different devices operating here over the system. But that's just a real quick demo to show that I hit the one button. All these other devices, they automatically enable the audio and my voice comes through on that. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you, I am going to try to share my screen again. All right, can people see my screen?
I do.
Okay, perfect. So you can see on my screen here, I have got the Smart Talk Blue Star phone interface here. And you can see at the top here, I'm logged in as Blue Star 1. And I can see all the other phones that are connected in the system. I can also do the push to talk through my laptop. So I've got all the Smart Talk capabilities on my desktop, as well as on all the devices. Now, here's the real power of it. The licensing is based per user, not per device. So that means I've got this client both on my laptop as well as on the phone. So any messages that I send out will come from either of these devices as user 1 to the other devices, but more importantly, I will get the message on either of these platforms. So that way I can pair my laptop with my cell phone and get all the same communications to the single person. So wanted to show the messaging. So last thing here was on the messaging. So the Blue Star. Okay. Oh, hang on. Let me stop that. All right. So the other messaging side of things, if I can get this close enough here, you can see the list of accounts. Hopefully you can see that. All the different chat messages that I've been doing off of my cell phone that then goes to all the other users within the system. And it shows the presence on there. So you can see, I believe, it shows Blue Star 2, which is the CT60 that's online right now. And the other users 3 and 4, they're currently offline. Those are other devices that I just don't currently have active. Okay, and the last thing I wanted to show you here, let's see if I can get to the appropriate spot. Okay, Tim, can you see my screen right now?
I can, yes.
Okay, so you see the word counterpath up in the corner here?
Yep.
I'll click on users. So here are the users that are currently provisioned. And as you can see, of the 12 users that are on the system, currently 5 are activated. And you can see here on user 2, there are 5 devices that are currently associated with it. So that's me doing a lot of different testing. But within that, I'm just wanting to make the point here that you can have multiple devices associated with the same user, and that just optimizes the communication. So you can see here on the other side all the different devices that are connected through the system. And there's the CT60 that I have as one of the accounts set up with Blue Star 2. And then within this, you've got different reports that you can see with what's going on in the system, the admin guide. Oops, sorry, I wanted to stay over here. And that kind of gives a really quick rundown as to what the Smart Talk is. So a lot of capabilities, a lot of power in this system. Let me go back to this. A lot of capabilities, a lot of power, and there's comes down now to the economics of the solution. So with the licensing question, I'll maybe turn that over to Tim if you want to review some of the aspects with the licensing at all.
Sure. Just let me pull this up. Sorry, everyone. So as Kent mentioned, there's the licensing is annual, and it's per license, not device, which is a positive aspect to it, and I think just increases the affordability and wanting to use the product or the application. I'm not going to go through them all. I'm just actually a couple of examples. An enterprise license, 1 year, MSRP is about $196 a year, so under $20 per month. A professional license would come down to about $96, and that's about, I don't know, $9 a month roughly, under 8 something. So the affordability is definitely there. Again, I think it helps to promote the product, and licenses go up to 36 months as well. I'm not going to get into the costing of that, but again, it's, I think, fantastic value for what the application does.
Perfect. So I guess that kind of wraps up the presentation and the demo side of things. So maybe we'll open it up if there's any other specific questions that I'll try to answer. And if not, then I can defer that over to the Honeywell team for follow-up if needed. So with that, any questions, anything else people want to see on the live demo side of things?
Okay, not all at once.
Even if it comes from Chris.
Well, I don't really have a question. Sorry, go ahead, Emily.
Sorry about that. I was going to say, it sounds like you guys have gone through everything so effectively that nobody needs any further information. You gotta love that, eh?
Indeed.
So if I could just quickly close out from my perspective, and having been in the enterprise mobile space for almost 20 years now, it's Chris Dollinger. I think what's really compelling about today's conversation was that Honeywell has put together what looks to be finally a fully converged mobile device. For over the years, we've been watching devices trying to accommodate the anti-Batman belt, where a device can do one thing, but it can't do the other. And I think we've been at 75% convergence up until Honeywell coming in together with this ability to go, regardless of your platform, regardless of your device, being able to put everything on there. So your device is already running Android, it's already doing the mobile, it's already doing data, it's doing email, it's doing everything, but now connected to the corporate phone system, being able to walkie-talkie each other or anywhere that you need to be, inside and outside the building. And then last and most importantly, if we have any IT directors or IT people on here, is people that, in your organization that are using their personal device for the business, is that they're separating that now by running everything to do with communications, both digitally and voice, off of the Honeywell Smart Talk app. as compared to them trying to use the personal device with WhatsApp and text messaging, SMS and everything. So if you walk away with anything today, for those that are on this call, I'd ask you to explore the idea of trying a demo, testing this thing out. We've tested it on all kinds of devices, and of course, well, on the Honeywell device, it's a marriage made in heaven. So I would say realize that now you can finally put everything together. So with that, I do want to thank DMS iTech for hosting this and sponsoring this webinar. Kenton, phenomenal job and great information for everybody. And please reach out to DMS iTech for questions, demos, quotes, anything you need, and they'll be able to help you right away.
Thank you so much. Yeah. All righty. Well, everybody, thank you so much for being with us today. I think we've had a very successful event. I look forward to so many more coming forward with everybody. It was great to have our wonderful hosts come and talk to us. We really appreciate Chris, Hector, Kenton, and Tim and the time that they've taken with us. Thank you guys so very much. And everybody, take care, stay safe, and enjoy the day today.
Thank you, Emily.
Thanks, Emily.
Thank you, Emily.
Thank you, Emily.
Thanks, everyone.
Take care. Have fun.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
I know.